nice job.
What was the film session like on Monday? Um, Three takeaways obviously dwarf everything else, but there was the completions and the yardage, which nobody really likes to see, but it's not nearly as important as getting the turnover.
Yeah, I thought for 2.5 quarters, I mean, shoot, it was, 35-10 with about 12 minutes to go in the game, and I know their last 3 drives accounted for a little over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we called a game that was necessary to win the football game. We're, not to make excuses for our guys, but we're down to 3 DNs, we're down linebackers, we're down people. So it was keep the ball in front, get the clock to 0 as fast as we could.
Robert, 2 weeks ago, you guys blitzed Stafford and the Rams like 55%. It was like the most in a decade. And then this last week, you only blitzed like 12%. Was that because you didn't like the way you guys played the week before, or why the two distinctive plans?
It's all part of feel. I mean, sure, we called man or man pressure 4-6 times in the game, and last week, and we gave 4 explosives. So it's and then you get later in the game, and like I said, for a quarter and a half, we were sitting back and just trying to get the clock to 0 as quickly as we could, with the score being what it was. But every game will be independent. We've had games where we blitzed and had a lot of success. We've had games where we blitzed and had no success, and vice versa. So it's like I said, we have a plan, and then it's our job to figure out how to pivot once we're inside the game.
I think what you've seen from Bryce Young so far, obviously he's coming off the best game he's ever had, but just overall, just to look at him, you don't look at him as being maybe a prototype number 1 at 5'10" and and size and everything. But it seemed like everybody was pretty convinced he was worth the number 1, and he's looking like it now. What do you see?
Yeah, I see a young man who's developed and has grown year over year. I think Canales and his staff have done an outstanding job developing him. I think the organization has done a great job building the roster the right way. And, you look at a guy like Bryce, they do a great job putting him in position to be successful. But for him, he's also a really, really good processor. What's underrated about him, I do think he's as tough as nails. I mean, he takes some shots in that standing back there sometimes, but he'll stand in there. He delivers strikes, and yeah, he's definitely an ascending quarterback.
What are your realistic expectations for your pass rush, given the players you've lost along the way?
The expectation is no different whether you have, no matter who's out there. It's to step on the gas and give us everything you've got. And I know Jacoby was getting rid of the ball pretty good last week, and again, it was easy. They were taking a lot of things underneath, which we were giving them. But yeah, our expectation doesn't change. We expect to win our one-on-ones. We expect to take advantage of our opportunities. We expect to be relentless, violent, and play with elite strain and effort. And that's the expectation. And if you can do that, we feel like we'll have a good result.
Robert, this team has good tight ends as well. 3 of them, and they use them differently. What do you see from their usage of tight ends? What do you think of those 3 players?
Good players. And they do a really nice job of mixing up their personnel. Obviously they're mostly 11 personnel, but they will get multiple. They'll throw 13 personnel out there. They'll work some 12 personnel. But it's a good trio of tight ends. And I know the rookie is getting a lot of attention, but they've got some weapons. The back is really good. So it's overall it's a really young group and a group that's ascending, but we've got to be prepared for anything that they throw at us with regard to those 3 tight ends and the different personnel groupings that they can give us.
The last year's season opener, Christian McCaffrey was a surprise scratch about 90 minutes before you guys played the 49ers. Can you share with us your kind of reaction, how the team reacted to that news? Did you know that that was a possibility? And I mean, no, Christian McCaffrey would seem to be a good news for a New York Jets defense.
Looking back at it, I kind of wish he played because Kyle would have thrown the ball more. But instead he pounded it for 41 times, I think it was. We kind of had an idea. We were prepared either way. We had our game plan, and we were able to. And I thought our staff, Jeff Albrecht and the staff, we did a really nice job pivoting. Credit to Kyle. He stuck with the run game. He ran the heck out of it, and I thought they did a really nice job getting into third manageables. And credit to J.P. Mason. I mean, if people didn't know who he was, I would like to think that game kind of woke people up. He's a hell of a back, and he played a heck of a game. But whenever a star player like Christian is ruled out, yeah, it changes only because of what he's capable of, both in the run game and pass game. Different if it's just the back who's first and second down. He might be a hell of a back, but it really doesn't change how the coordinator is going to call the game. Where Christian clearly changed the way Kyle was going to call the game. But, so there's sometimes you almost wish that they do play, so you have your game plan and you can go attack it and you know exactly what you're going to get. But whenever you lose a star, like San Francisco did, then the variables become more.
When you were in Seattle, did you, maybe you guys were too young to even think this, but did you look at Canales and say, I could be a head coach, or were you just trying to make your way at that point?
Canales is an outstanding, first off, an outstanding human. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to interact with him, but he's an outstanding. Him and his family are fantastic. And, we were both QCs. Obviously, he was on the offensive side of the ball, just trying to find our way. And, he's always been a team-first servant, never looking for his next job, never looking for opportunities. And I think he's one of those guys that when the opportunity showed up, he took it. He's made the most out of every opportunity he's ever gotten, and he's a heck of a football coach, and you can see it in the way this team is developed. I mean, give him and Dad Morgan a lot of credit. This organization was in the dumps not so long ago, and they are slowly climbing out, and they're building it the right way, and so it's pretty cool to see.
The last one, the stout force fumble at the 1. We had Alfred and Collins do that at the 1. Bosa had the strip sack inside the 10 in the season opener. What does that tell you about your guys' ability to defend down there on the goal line and go for the ball?
There's an old saying: it's a blade of grass. Just give us a blade of grass, and we'll do our best to defend it. And I think our guys. They represent what this organization preaches. It's elite strain all the way through the whistle. And, Alfred's play was unbelievable. Bosa's was unbelievable. Even Upton's at the very last second, his technique through the down wasn't perfect, but he fought all the way through. And it's what we talk about when we talk about the makeup of the people in that locker room and the way Kyle and John go through the process to select these young men and who gets to wear a San Francisco 49ers helmet. They're made of the right stuff, and those are the individuals who will strain all the way through, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the down and distance is, no matter what the score is or where it's at in the game. We've got a locker room full of individuals that are going to do everything they can to win every down. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, ready to go.
But why, you guys have run it better, it seems like the last 6 weeks, maybe since the Tampa game. Is it just the return of Kittle? Is it the health of Pooney? Is it the fact you guys are running a little bit more gap, a little less zone?
I think, yeah, it's a lot of things. It's not one thing. It's continuity, with the guys who've been back. We've had Kittle back. We've had some more consistency at guard past couple weeks. We've gotten better, I think through as the year has gone on, through practice, we've gotten better as running the ball, more consistent. The way some of the games have gone, we've been able to commit to it a little bit more, like the Giants game, this last game. So it's a lot of things, It doesn't mean by any means it's perfect, but we got to keep going and look at it week by week and continue to try to improve in the run game, because if we can run the ball, stay on the field, and we're going to have some success as an offense. So.
You guys have been really good in the red zone in the last 5 games in terms of converting that into touchdowns. Can you just take us a little bit into when Kyle's calling plays, or how you guys are dialing up these plays in the red zone, whether there's a little bit more enthusiasm this year than there was maybe last year when things weren't going as well?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's, guys have executed, pretty well down there these past couple weeks. We've made some plays. I think Brock made a really good throw last week in the red zone. We've been running the ball a little bit better down there. It's never one thing. It's not like our plays are better, that we've come up with better plays. I think it's just, we've caught some of the coverages that we scouted a little bit. There's times when you get down there and you catch a coverage like, man, we didn't expect that, and the play you have just wasn't the right play, and you hope someone makes a play, but it doesn't work out. We've gotten fortunate in that regard, thinking about last game especially. So it's just, guys being on it, quarterback executing, running the ball a little bit better. All those things add up to me to red zone success. So I think that's what it is.
The shared arrangement at guard between
Yeah, I think it's been working. We kind of take it week by week, kind of see where they're at in practice. I think the way the games have gone, those guys have benefited from being in there, getting in a rhythm, and then getting to come out for a little bit and just kind of see the game a little bit differently, take a break, let the other guy go in and play. That can help guys sometimes. That can help guys kind of, whatever it is mentally or whatever, it can help a guy play better, more consistently if he knows, hey, I got a guy coming in and I can kind of take a breather. But it also depends on the game. I think back to some games where we didn't get in a rhythm and we just kept guys out there. And so if we're playing good and we're running the ball, I think hopefully we have that consistency with, rotating those guys. But we'll just kind of see how each week goes.
Do they
So.
know before the game, like, all right, you're going to go the first 4 series, then you're going the next 4, or is it just like you start the one guy and then tell the other guy to stay ready? You're going to go in?
Yep. Yeah, I think it's we don't predetermine how many drives or whatever, but we give them an idea like, hey, we're gonna, just be ready in a couple series. Just you never know when it's going to change, but he's ready for it.
How hard is it to keep everyone involved on offense when you have a few players who deserve so many touches?
I mean, it's a good problem to have. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, you want to get everyone involved, but it's a good problem to have. You design plays where you think everyone's got a chance to touch the ball and let the coverage dictate kind of where it goes. But that's we're fortunate to have that problem. I wouldn't say I'm complaining about it, but and you want to keep guys motivated. You want to keep guys in it because they think the ball's coming their way. But our guys do a great job of playing unselfish too. They don't really care where the ball goes. They run their routes. They play each play, and they know that the ball's going to be distributed based on the coverages we get. And so, yeah.
When you get to week 12, do you want to meet more with your QCs and your kind of your helpers to make sure that you know what your tendencies are when you're putting together your game plan?
Absolutely. We kind of do that every week. We kind of look at, our scouting department does a good job of giving us a report of kind of what we're presenting to the defense and what kind of shows up as tendencies. We kind of do it on our own too. We pay attention to it. We try to offset things every week. We've done this on tape last week. Let's try to offset it and try to show something different. So you always kind of got to have your eye on that. Yeah. Man.
Thank you.
Good, guys. Short and sweet. Appreciate it. and obviously try to win back-to-back games will be huge for us. But more than anything, it's a crucial time of the year. It's the end of getting towards the end of the season. So obviously everybody knows November and December football is huge, especially going into playoffs and everything. So for us, this is a huge one.
I think a lot of people looked at that last game and the reaction was, wow, he hit the ground running. He looked really good. What did you think when you looked at it?
Yeah, I thought it was good just to get my feet wet again and sort of go through reads, compete, find a way to win, all that kind of stuff, man. It's hard to emulate that at practice. And so until you're in a game situation, when you go out there and they score and we got to respond, like those kind of situational football moments, it just felt good being in that. And but I think outside of that, for me, I went back, watched the film, and thought I could still play better and make some better decisions with the ball, and at the same time, just be aggressive and have that aggressive mentality. So it's a balance of that, and so that's just where I'm at after last game. But I think as an offense, we have a lot of momentum right now from that last game. But we got to find that again come Sunday or Monday night. So that's sort of where my mind's at, and after watching the game.
Brock, you mentioned the offensive momentum, getting a full week of practice. Ricky gets a full week of practice this week. How close do you feel this offense is to kind of maybe taking off here down the stretch?
Yeah, I think just like you said, like Ricky feeling good, and for myself being able to come back, and just as a whole, I feel like we've all been able to put some practices together. I feel like throughout the year it's been someone's out, and there's been not a whole lot of consistency, but obviously guys have stepped up and done a great job. But it just feels good that we're all able to practice together, play a game together, watch film together, and grow in that regard. It's huge for the little details and stuff, especially in this offense in the NFL. And so that excites me. It excites all the other guys. But sort of back to the last question, like it's the end of the season. We need consistency right now going into the end of the year and trying to get into the playoffs and all that. So it's huge for all of us, but we all feel really good about it.
Along those lines, you haven't gotten a lot of overlap with Kendrick Bourne. How do you kind of create the necessary chemistry at this point with somebody who's going to be in the game as much as you?
Yeah, I think just from the games that he played with Mac and watching film and being around him in the locker room and on the field at practice, like I feel like KB and I, like we've gotten really close in that regard. But at the same time, like we just haven't been in the game a whole lot together to get a lot of throws and reps. That's just sort of how the game plans have gone when I've been in the game, and how the game has gone. And so, but I know that when the time is right and he's in there, the right play, the right time, I have 100% confidence that we'll connect and he's going to be where he needs to be. Obviously, he's been in Shanahan's system. He understands our concepts and where he needs to be. And so more than anything, I think, come the moment, we're going to capitalize and be just fine. So, and then obviously outside of that, we got JJ, Ricky, George, Christian. We got guys that, can all come together and help each other. It's not just we're relying on one guy to be where he's at. It's everybody doing their job, but we all got each other's back. So, I mean, KB and I, we're just fine. So.
All the games you played in high school, college, you ever started the game on the 1 yard line?
No. I've had some good kick returns and stuff, but to start the game on the one, that was the first. So shout out Sky Moore.
You said you're not quite 100% healthy. Do you feel like yourself? Do you feel like you can do everything you've been able to do in the past? Or are you learning new ways to perform and win at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, not 100% by any means, but pretty close. And I would say I can do everything that it takes to play quarterback at a high level and be myself for sure. But I mean, it is what it is when it comes to having to deal with something health-wise. But I feel like I can scramble, I can make plays on the run, step up in the pocket, rip the ball aggressively. So I feel like I can play my style of ball for sure right now.
Christian, I assume, is supremely motivated for every game, but would you imagine he has anything extra for a team that's
I mean, I know that dude's going to bring it every game, doesn't matter who it is. Being the team that traded him and stuff, I'm sure, Christian just being the competitor that he is, like he definitely, probably wants to go out and compete his butt off. But I feel like that's a question for Christian to answer. So, but knowing him and stuff, yeah, he's going to have that chip on his shoulder for sure. So excited for him. Okay, there you go. That should give you an answer.
Headed connection between this team and the fan base. What does it say about the culture here that the support remains consistent no matter what the circumstances?
Yeah, man. I mean, we call our fan base the faithful, and they show up. Doesn't matter where we're at, home, away. They've been an amazing fan base just over the years. Doesn't matter where we're at, the state of our season or anything. They're going to show up and have our back. So Monday Night Football late in the year like this, and a lot is on the line, and we all want to go out and show out for each other. But more than anything, our fan base, man, get that place rocking, get Levi's rocking. This is what it's all about. So we appreciate them, we love them, and we're going to play for them.
Ron, I think I heard on our broadcast that you had reached out to other players who had toe issues, injuries. Can you share like some of those conversations and what you learned and I don't know, say who you talked to?
Yeah, just teammates and stuff around here in our locker room, and receivers, DBs, everybody, you name it. Like I was just asking guys, and a lot of guys have dealt with a toe injury at some point in their career, I feel like, and a lot of the guys that have, we're just basically saying that it's not going to be a thing that heals overnight. I mean, that's really just with any injury, man. It's not going to be perfect right away or anything, but you find ways to do what you can to keep strengthening it as you go along. Find ways to play, and you know what that threshold is of when you can go, when you can't. What makes it worse, what doesn't, stuff like that. And so I just feel like for me, everybody's injury is a little different, but I just wanted to have a good idea of what to expect, what the rehab process looks like when I do get back out in the field, what to expect, and how long could this thing feel like this until I get to that line and feel better. So I don't know. It was just one of those things where I was trying to do my research with guys here that had dealt with it and sort of go from there. So I feel like, I don't know, I got some really good answers, but at the same time, everybody's injury is a little different. So.
Everybody on Monday, how the toe was going to feel?
No, honestly, I really did believe that, after the game and traveling home and everything, it felt really good just walking around and being myself. Like I was like, I know I'm good. And so big difference from, the previous 2 times where I heard it. And so Monday I woke up, went about my business, and feel great. Yeah.
This is about Kyle Juszczyk. When you complete a pass to him, are you as amused like the second the crowd just immediately breaks into the juice chant, like they immediately recognize him, like he gets that and nobody else gets that?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty sweet. He's a fullback. Love him. But it's just cool that like the crowd immediately feeds off of our fullback when he gets the ball. And, he's just got this different kind of aura, man, that I don't think – everybody has their own different kind of aura, but Juice's aura, like with our stadium, our fan base, like everybody knows him. Even we're on the road, the dude can catch a 2-yard check down and the whole place goes nuts. So he's the man. He does everything that we ask for, and he deserves the crowd to go crazy like that. So.
He's been in this system for so long, almost a decade. And I know back in high school he had some quarterback experience. Is he someone who just is like an encyclopedic knowledge of what Kyle is trying to do when you're in meeting rooms and in the huddle?
I mean, yeah, he's extremely smart, went to Harvard and all that, but more than anything, like just, his experience with football. He's been in the league forever and been around some good quarterbacks, and as the fullback, his position is obviously similar to a tight end and a running back. So like he has to sort of know our whole system, the motions, the routes, the checkdowns, you name it. So like he's in it just like the quarterback is. And so for him, man, I don't know, he's up there when it comes to understanding our offense and our system and having good football IQ. So honestly, like we got questions and stuff, we could always go to Juice, and he usually knows just about everything, but you just can't throw as good as a quarterback. So thanks, guys.